What's going on, everybody? It's Camille, Aiko. I hope that you are living the life that you love spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. It is January 22nd, which means we are going to start the 10X rule. Hey, what's going on? Good evening, good evening, good evening. So drop those ones if you are going to be watching this live. Drop a 2 if you're catching this on replay. So it's January 22nd, which means we're starting our book, The 10X Rule. Hello, 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 everyone joining in. So hopefully you've gotten a chance to get the book that we're going to be reading here together for the next 22 days, The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. Hey, what's going on, Rico? Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, Antonio? All right, so what's up, Mar-us? Hey, Jessica. I'm good. I'm good. Fabulous, fabulous. So, guys, we're going to do the whole drawing thing again this go round. So, if you all want to share the video at the end, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it weekly or not. Maybe I'll do it weekly. Or, yeah, that's what I'm doing. Weekly, we'll do a drawing. So, everyone who shared the live video, be just giving away different things, gift cards, probably just gift cards, cash, and products. And so what's going on? Sumeria, am I pronouncing your name right? I'm great. How are you? All right. So again, we are going to start reading the book, The 10X Rule. And again, hopefully you've got the book. Let me know, have you all gotten the book? Have you been reading it? Have you liked it so far? Fill me in. Fill me in. What's been going on? Do you have the book? Let me know. So this is the book we're going to be reading here. I know that it's backwards because I have my camera in selfie mode. Some of you might be getting ready to go to sleep, and that's fine. Just save the video, share the video so that you can catch it. Now, let me just tell you all, this live is not for you if you want to continue to be unhappy, miserable, depressed, not in a place that you want to be, if you don't want to achieve some goals, if you don't want to set your sights on higher heights. Like this isn't the live for you, so you might as well go ahead and hop off now. Now, if you want to make sure you haven't got it yet, make sure you get it. You guys can go to, I just ordered mine off of Amazon. So if you can get to Amazon or Google it, and I'm sure there'll be some bookstores that pop up. Never heard of the book. It is called The 10X Rule, and it is by Grant Cardone. I have the first few chapters from Amazon Kindle. And Tiana, was that was free for you to get, right? Let me know, or let the people know. Okay, guys, so we're going to start this book. Again, I know it's backwards, but it's the 10X Rule. Okay, and that's the author right there. So if you can read backwards. I haven't yet. School started last week for me, so it's been very busy. But yes, order it as soon as possible. ASAP. Get the book, get the book, get the book. All right, and hopefully my signal is coming through. It was been storming, heavy winds and rains going on. So hopefully that is not interrupting. I got to get it. Yes. Get the book, because this is what we're going to be reading for the next 22 days. All right. So let's go ahead. I know, right? For some people, it is definitely played out. Like, who knew, right? That achieving more and setting goals and, you know, nobody wants to do that anymore, right? All right. Lots of rain. Hey, what's going on, Ryan? What's going on? Okay. So I told you all, share this video. We're going to be doing weekly drawings. Okay. Your sister has the app. Okay. We're going to be doing weekly drawings. So share this video. Share, share, share. Like, love, do all of that beautiful stuff. Because who you deal with matters. And so we need to make sure that on social media, we're not just getting a whole bunch of junk and memes and all that other stuff. Or y'all call it memes or memes. But anyway, we want to make sure that we are pouring good stuff into them. All right. So I'm all in. Absolutely. All right. So if you don't know me, my name is Camille. My thing is to help people love the life that they are living spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. And so one of the things that I've been doing is just doing book discussions. So we started last month, and we were reading the book, The Law of Attraction, The Power of Mentorship. And that was an awesome book. And hopefully you guys took a lot away from that. So let us know if you took anything away from it. All right. Has it been helping you at all? Is there any nuggets that you've been taking away from that, that book reading? Because I know for me, I've definitely been thinking about things differently. I know, like, who is this girl? Why is she popping up in my news feed? Why is she here? Well, that's why I just had to tell you who I was. Hey, Bryant, what's going on? Okay, so the first chapter of the 10X rule. Essentially, I'm not even sure how I'm going to break this book down. I was just like, let me just get on here because I said I was going to stick to January 22nd, right? Okay, so the 10X rule is the one thing that will guarantee that you will get what you want in amounts greater ever thought imaginable. It will work in every area of your life: spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, familial, and financial. The 10X rule is based on understanding how much effort and thought are required to get anything done successfully. How to follow the group. This is just my live, Lowry, Deborah. I think Deborah. So this is just my live. So you can actually go on my page and click see first if you want to see the lives, but it's not a group. If anyone wants the first few chapters, I will gladly send them through Messenger. Yes, let Tiana know and she will get those to you. Okay, so essentially with the 10X rule is this: you put 10 times the effort. All right, so you're going to take 10 times the action that you would typically take to get something done. You're going to put 10 times the thought into it, and you are going to be able to achieve whatever it is that you desire. But it's going to take both of those things. It can't just be one or the other. So I want you all to think about this. You know, some of us, we go to work, we work tons of hours, but we don't get to where we want to be. And it's not because we're not putting in the work. It's because we're missing the other piece, the thought process, right? So we can think about something, and we can think about it, and we can think about it, and we can think about it. And there might be some of it that comes to fruition. There might be some of it that manifests in our lives. But if we don't get up and we don't put any action behind it, then it's just going to be thought. So the process behind this book and the 10X rule, and really this tonight is just going to be an introduction of the 10X rule, okay? So we're not going to get too deep tonight, but with the 10X rule, you have to put your action and your thought together. Too many of us we're doing one, but we're not doing the other. So Grant Cardone is coming together, and he's saying, no, you've got to pair it. You have got to do the thought. You have got to do the action. Whatever it is that you think about, then you need to get up and do something about it. Right? So, you know, I went to lunch today, or a late lunch, early dinner. And I'm sitting there and I'm listening to these two women talking, and one woman is just talking away about how much work she does on her job and how she's not valued. And she was just like really going in, like what I thought was going to be like this really peaceful lunch. I almost wanted to turn around to her and say, can I talk to you for a little bit? You know, have like an intervention moment. But she's talking about all of this stuff that she does on her job, and all of the hours that she puts in, and the workload that they're giving her, and everything that she has to accomplish. And I'm thinking, but isn't this what you're saying that you want? Like, you want to get promoted. You want the additional work. So what then comes along with that, what the part that she is missing, is the positive thinking that is actually going to get her to where she desires to be. Now, it may not even be in that company. It could be her starting her own business. It could be her really running the place. But the thing that is going to stop her from achieving what it is that she wants is her thought process, because you can get the work done. You can do something good. You can you can do all of the action that you want to, but if you have a negative, nasty attitude, it's only going to get you but so far. Okay, so basically, thought isn't enough. Gotta execute. Yes, Maras. Tiana, may you send the first few chapters. Yes, yes, yes. Put your actions and thoughts. Yes, that is the 10X rule. To put your actions and your thoughts together. Okay, and then not only just action, but taking massive action, like going above and beyond what it is that we are willing to do in order to have what it is that we want to have. And so he begins to talk about this concept of extraordinary levels. And he says, you know, and when I say he, I'm talking about the author of the book, right? So Grant has started businesses from scratch. He has created a nice income for himself. But what he is saying is that he hadn't created the extraordinary levels of, one would say, like a Warren Buffett, right? And he's saying that he violated the second part of the 10X rule, the way of thinking. That would be my only regret, failing to approach my life with the right mindset. How many of us are failing to approach life with the right mindset? Or maybe you're not putting enough action. But chances are, if you have the wrong mindset, you're probably not putting in the right action either. But I really want you to just think about, what rule have you been violating? Has it been your action? Has it been your thought process? Like, what do you really need to work on? Because as we're going through this book, I want you to really make sure that you understand what it is that you need to work on. Like, don't just come on here to look at me and see what people are saying in the conversation, right? Like, get on here because you want to reach some goals, because you want to go farther in life than where you are right now. Okay. And like I said, if you don't want to do that, then hop off this live, because this isn't for you and you're just going to be frustrated with anything that I have to say about this book. All right. So he says, set targets that were, let me go. He says he will go back. I would have actually set targets that were 10 times what I have dreamed of in the beginning. Right. So he's saying I would go back. And if you want to be a part of a company or an organization, don't just say, I want to work customer service. No, say, I want to be the CEO. You know, I want to be the person that runs the show. Be that person who is going to be able to make some moves and some executive decisions. Like, if we say that we want financial freedom, then we know that just being the bare minimum at the customer service position isn't going to get us what it is that we desire. So your thoughts and your actions have to go together. You can't just think the only thing that I'm worth is to come in and be at the bottom of the barrel if you want to have such a level of success for yourself, right? All right, Maras, good night. Thanks for hopping on here. Okay, so you have to make sure that whatever it is that you want to do, that your thought process matches it, right? Whatever that end goal is. So let's keep on going. He says, extraordinary by definition means anything outside the realm of what most normal people can do and achieve. And of course, that definition would then depend on with whom and what class of success you're comparing yourself. Right. So he says, before you go on to say, well, I don't want to achieve any extra goals. I don't want to be rich. I don't want to have any more money. You know, I just want to be happy. He says, or whatever else that you might be mumbling to yourself right about now at this very moment. He says, in order to get whatever it is that you want, whatever that next level is, even if you don't feel like it's like this place of extremity, it is going to take you to think differently than how you're thinking right now. You have to think in a completely different way. See, you can't solve a problem at the same level at which it was created, right? And the problem may not necessarily be a bad thing, right? The problem might just be, how do I get out of the place that I'm at right now? Well, in order to get out of the place that you are at right now means that you have to raise your thinking. You have to raise your actions. You have to go to a completely different place if you want to mentally, right? And in your work ethic, if you want to go somewhere differently in your life, whether it be in your relationships, whether it be in your finances, spiritually, mentally, anything that you want to do, right? So if you want to get closer to God, what are some things that you can do? Hey, Tammy. Wilbert, late to class. Man, detention. No. But really, you know, if you want to get closer to God, guys, what are some things that you can do? What are you doing in your spiritual life? How do you grow in your spiritual life? So, for instance, that could be if you are a believer like myself in the Lord Jesus Christ, right? You might be reading your Bible. So maybe instead of reading one scripture a night, you end up reading 2 chapters, right? What are some things, right? You read the Bible, you're praying more, you hang around people who believe like you believe, right? So all of these things are going to help to increase you spiritually. Right. Read your Bible. And so you have to do that at a higher level than what you were doing before. And so Grant is saying, why waste your time doing baby small steps when you can do it at an extraordinary level? Go ahead and do it 10 times, right? And be able to achieve what you want to achieve much faster and at a much greater level. So that way you can truly then have the time freedom that you want because now you don't have to go back and keep redoing everything over and over again. Like, okay, well, I got this one little baby step. Now I need to go to the next little baby step. And even though it is one step at a time, why not do one step at a time for something that is huge and great versus one step at a time that's only going to get you a small little something, only a little piece of the pie. Go ahead and go for the whole pie. And that way, if you fall short, you still have a lot more accomplished than just getting a little nibble, getting a little crumb, right? Thanks, Tammy. So if you missed the beginning part, we are reading the 10X Rule by Grant Cardone, right? Okay. So, and I'm just kind of doing a book review. We'll be doing this for the next 22 days. And so you guys make sure you share this video. If you want to get in on the drawing, I'll be giving off gift cards, products, cash. All right. So make sure you share this every week. We will do a drawing. All right. Okay. So now he says, in order to get to the next level of whatever you're doing, you must think and act in a wildly, wildly different way than you previously have been. You cannot get to the next phase of a project without a grander mindset, more acceleration, and extra horsepower. Your thoughts and actions are the reasons why you are where you are right now. So it would be reasonable to be suspect of both, right? So, and that concept isn't necessarily new. The thinking of our actions and our thoughts have gotten us to where we are right now, but it is worth rechecking because see, we are in January 22nd, and in the beginning of January, many of us were like, you know, we're setting these goals and we did a vision board party, in which I'm still going to end up doing a virtual one. So you guys still look out for that. I'm just kind of thrown off a little bit with my Puerto Rico trip. But listen, so we had all of these goals and we had all of these plans, and some of us haven't even started working on one of them, right? We haven't even began to shift our mind to think about the things that we said that we wanted to achieve. We've already fallen in this place of not taking action and not changing our mindset to be able to achieve what it is that we want to achieve. So we have to begin to think differently. We have to take our actions and they have to be differently. So what is the 10X rule? The 10X rule is thinking 10 times greater. The 10X rule is taking actions 10 times greater to achieve what you want faster and bigger, right? All right. So it says, he gives an example. He says, let's say you have a job but have no savings and want to have another $1,000 a month coming in, or perhaps you currently have $20,000 in the bank and want to save $1 million, or that your company is doing $1 million a year in sales and you want to get up to $100 million. Maybe you need to find a job, lose 40 pounds, or find the right partner. Although these scenarios cover different areas of your life, they all have one thing in common. The person who desires them is not there yet. Guess who that person is? It's you. It's me. It's who's on this live. It's the people who have gotten this book, that the things that we haven't accomplished, the place that we want to be, we're not there yet. And so that means that we have to work on us. That means we have to check our thoughts. That means we have to check our actions. Because if we're not where we want to be, then that means that we need to do something differently. And here's the thing about it, though. As long as you have breath in your body, as long as you have limbs and they work, right? As long as you have breath in your body, again, then you should be wanting to do more. You should be wanting to be greater. You should be wanting to pour yourself out until there is nothing left, right? Thanks so much for sharing. So you guys, make sure you share, right? And there's going to be a drawing every week. So he goes on to say that each of these goals is valuable and each will require a different way of conceptualizing and acting upon them in order to attain them. So if you have a horrible relationship, maybe you don't have a relationship at all, and you want one, then there's some things that you have to do differently. You have to begin to think differently about it. Your actions have to change. You got to stop dating anybody and everybody and having all your business out there, because nobody wants that wants a serious relationship or a marriage, right? Like, nobody wants somebody who's just running around with everybody. You've got to change your mindset and say, you know what? I want to mature. I need to change my thinking. I need to become a person, a woman, a man who is respectable, who is honorable, who will be someone who will be a good partner to a different person and not hurt them and not crush them and dishonor them and defame them, right? Like, you don't want to be that person. And perhaps that's why you don't have the marriage or that you want. Maybe that's why you don't have the partner that you want. So you have to think about your life, your actions, what you're doing. All right. Facts. Yes. Okay. So we're on a good page here with this book. All right. So let me see here. Extraordinary levels. Y'all know I always lose my place. That ain't changed since last month. Okay. Now he says others might have an opinion about your success, but only you can decide what's extraordinary. See, extraordinary, again, is just getting to a different place that you haven't been before, in a sense. So really, any goal that you set, that you want, that you desire, as long as you haven't been there before, then it's going to become extraordinary to you in your life. And so this is where we have to cut out the naysayers, right? And the people who are looking at you and trying to compare your life to the people in popular society, right? Like, oh, well, you don't have anything because you're not driving a certain car, or you haven't reached a level of success because you don't have this amount of money in your bank account, or you haven't reached a level of success or this extraordinary level because they're comparing you to the latest of the latest and the greatest of the great. Like, no, that's not what it's about. And this is where you have to really begin to focus in on what it is that you want for your life. And you have to be firm in that and not be so concerned with what everybody else is saying. Because the moment you get caught up in what everybody else is saying is going to be the moment that you give up on what your goals are. And you're going to stop taking action, and you're going to stop thinking that it's possible for you, because you're going to take on the negative attitude and mindset of everybody else. And that's what you can't allow to happen. Okay. So your extraordinary level of thinking is making sure, or extraordinary level is making sure that you take yourself to a different place of action, in a different place of thinking that you have never been before. All right. So only you know your true potential and whether you're living up to it. See, I don't know if you're really living up to your true potential, but you know. And you might be walking around with a smile on your face and pretending like everything's okay and everything's fine. But when in reality, it's not, right? In fact, there was a woman who posted a picture. It was a before and after weight loss picture. And she was just talking about how in the before picture, before she lost the weight, she said, you know, I was smiling and I pretended like I was happy on the outside, but really on the inside, I was depressed. I was going through, I had anxiety. Like, I wasn't happy with where I was, but I was just walking around putting on a front. Like, I don't know if all of you are walking around putting on a front, but you know, like, you have to decide for yourself if you want to stay in that place, or if you want to be able to implement the 10X rule and propel yourself to an extraordinary level in your life. And that is getting to a place that you have never been before. Are you ready for that in 2018? Or are you ready to continue to do what you've been doing for the rest of your life, getting the results that you have been getting? So I can't tell you, but you know. So be honest with yourself. So in her after picture, she says, you know, now that I've been able to lose this weight, and it's not necessarily just about losing the weight. It's about being able to decide and commit to something and then being able to follow through with it so that you can see the results. And I guarantee you the way that you feel on the inside when you're able to accomplish that makes you feel a whole lot better. So what are those goals that you set for yourself in December? What are those goals that you set for yourself at the beginning of January? Have you been working towards them, or have you just been kind of playing with the thought? Did you create your action plan? Are you thinking bigger? Are you thinking better? Or are you still going for the same goal that you set for yourself 5 years ago? If you're still going for the same goal that you set for yourself 5 years ago, you definitely need to implement this 10X rule. It's time to move. It's time to go higher. It's time to go better. It's time to go bigger, right? This is the time to accomplish it. And again, I'm not saying you have to become a millionaire. I'm not saying that you have to drive the hottest car. What I'm saying is whatever it is that God has placed in your heart to do, whatever you have set for yourself, you need to make sure that it gets done. Apply 10 times more effort. Apply 10 times more of your thinking towards what it is that you want. Yes. Okay, so remember, success is the degree or measure of attaining some desired object or end. Once you attain this desired end, the issue then becomes whether you can maintain, multiply, and repeat your actions in order to sustain that result. Okay, so once we have come into this thinking, once we have gotten the result, it's not just to get it one time. Because see, you can do something one time, but then if you lose it, then you're just back to where you started in the first place. So doing this is you want to make sure that you can maintain, multiply, and repeat your actions in order to sustain the result. And so we're not going to go into a whole lot of that on tonight, but that's why you got to come back and join me, because for the rest of these chapters, we are going to be talking about how you're going to be able to do that with the 10X rule. Okay, so although success can describe an accomplished feat, people usually don't study success in terms of something they have done. They go at it with a mind towards something they are seeking to do. An interesting thing about success is that it's like a breath of air. Although your last breath of air is important, it's not nearly as important as the next one. So we have to be thinking of success as a futuristic thing, as well as what you have done in the past, right? Because you can look back on the past and say, okay, I was able to do it then, so I can do it now. But you can't live on what you've done in the past, because if you live there, then that means you're going to stay there. And our goal is to move forward. Introspective thinking. Right. Love the message. Thank you so much, Samuel. Okay, let me see. I've been working on my goals and so far so good. Awesome. And so, and Jessica, it's not just the working of the goals, right? But 10 times more. So whatever goal you have set for yourself, let's say you set I want to make an emergency fund for $1,000, right? So 10 times more would be $10,000. So don't just stop at $1,000, do 10,000. Let's say your goal was to make a movie. Instead of doing one movie, do 10 movies. Do something. The thing is to do 10 times more of whatever it is, right? Do 10 times more of whatever it is. Think bigger, more action. Do it bigger, do it better, do it faster, right? Because it's possible. When we limit our thinking, we limit ourselves. We limit our actions. When we think it's not possible, then our actions don't follow suit with what it is that we really desire. So we can desire to have something bigger and better, but if we think it's not possible for us, then our actions will not follow and we will never get it, right? So whatever it is that you desire, whatever goal it is, so I don't care if you said, you know, I want to be able to buy 1 car, shoot to buy 10 cars. And I'm using it just because it's a simple math of 10 times greater, right? So does that mean you're going to get 10 cars? No. What that means is that if you fall short, at least you fall short on a goal of getting 10 cars versus you falling short of a goal of getting 1 car. Because then what's going to happen is if you fall short of the goal of getting 1 car, that means you're going to end up with no cars. If you fall short on the goal of getting 10 cars, then perhaps it'll just be 1 car that you get, but at least you'll have it, right? Okay. So, and this is all about what the 10X rule is. So let me skip through, because if I go through paragraph by paragraph, that's why you guys need to get the book. And remember, add in some conversation. I'm just flowing because I'm the only one talking. But if you guys put something in the comments, I'll respond back to that, okay? So he says that somebody asked him, he said, you know, why do you keep pushing? This is what the people are asking. Why do you keep pushing? Like, you have achieved a great income. You live a great life. You're married with kids. You guys got money. You're not struggling. Like, why do you keep going? And he said, it is because I'm obsessed with the next breath of accomplishment. I'm compulsive about leaving a legacy and making positive footprint on the planet. Like, how many of you want to live a legacy that is greater than yourself? Something that your family can be proud of, something that the world can look back on and say, you know what? Like, that person made an impact. How many of you all want people to recognize the fact, like, you know, that this person made an impression on my life, right? So that means that we have to do something different. All right. So let's go here. You are so fine. Thanks so much, Kyle. All right. Now, where are we going here? He says, I believe that it's my ethical obligation. And I love this part. He says that it is my ethical obligation to create success for myself, my family, my company, my future. No one can convince me that there's something wrong with my desire to achieve new levels of success. You all should get to the point where you are convinced that nobody and nothing can stop you from getting to the point of success that you want to be at. Don't let anybody or anything stop you. Get so determined and be so affirmed in what you believe that nothing stops you. You want to have the best marriage. You want to have the marriage that people look at you and say, you know what? If they can do it, I can do it too. You want to become the inspiration. You want to become the billboard for the great marriages. Then guess what? You do that and stop thinking and listening to what everybody else has to say. And I don't care how young you are, and I don't care how old you are. Okay, well, maybe young, but I don't care how old you are when it comes to it, right? That if you want to have the successful marriage and you want to have that somebody who loves you and adores you and just thinks the world of you, then you know what? Do it. And you guys work together and you build a legacy together and you, yeah, the whole younger part. Let one of my nieces and nephews coming up talking about they about to get married. Okay, except for my 19-year-old. I might let him pass. But anyway, don't allow anything or anyone stop you from thinking that you can achieve the level of success that it is that you desire in any area of your life. And people might look at you crazy. They might look at you and say, you know what, that girl has gone absolutely cuckoo. You keep going anyway. Or maybe that man, because I know it's more than just women on here, right? But obligation to give all you've got in every area of your life. You know, Wilbert, that brings a good point. I really think it's mindset, you know, because I think about our great-grandparents and our grandparents and even some of our parents. They got married at a younger age, but I think the mindset was just a little bit different. You know, I know the time was different, but, you know, yeah. So I just feel like if they're mature and they know what they're doing, but you're right, in our day and age, it's definitely young. Okay, so obligation to give all you got. So as I was saying earlier, if you still have breath in your body, if your limbs still working, right? Even if you don't have limbs, there are people walking around here with no legs, no arms, but they are giving life all that they've got. Are you giving life all that you've gotten? Or are you just sitting there and saying to yourself, I'm done, I'm tired. I went to work today and I don't have anything left to give. Like, I don't want to be a person that when I die full of everything that God gave me. Like, I want to be pouring out into people and allowing them to see that they truly can live the life that they love. So my action plans are helping people to do that, right? So what are we doing that we are pouring out to people to the point that we have nothing left? Like, we should die empty. Okay? Don't live with all of this fullness and die full. Okay? It is, but time, yep, I agree. Right. So better relationships, more quality time with those that you love, more momentous experiences, a better level of fitness and health, increased energy and more spiritual knowledge, and the ability to contribute to the good of society. Common to all these things is the desire to improve, and they are qualities by which countless people measure success. What is it that you want in your life? Stop thinking so small. Stop thinking that you can't have it. Stop listening to all of these outside forces that aren't going to help you get to where you want to get. Y'all, this is the time to really just get zoned in, get focused, and make it happen. Absolutely make it happen. But here's the thing, that I think about is that I gave all of 3% today off day. We need those days, right? Live full, die empty. Yes. So, we have to make sure that we're giving our all. Absolutely. I think your comment, where was I? I just lost what I was saying. It was going to be really good too. The desire to improve, and these are the qualities, that we measure success. So what is it that you want? How is it that you want to measure your life? Because again, this isn't based on anybody else, because my level of success may not be your level of success, but you have to be happy with you, and I've got to be happy with me. See, even if it comes down to something like weight loss, right? Like, I'm okay with the size that I am, but you may not be okay being the size that I am. And so my level of success is not your level of success, but you have to identify what that level of success is for you and be okay with that, right? Because my desire might be to have long hair, your desire to have short hair, but you can't allow my desire to have long hair deter you from having short hair. And of course, I'm giving these small, simple examples, right? But this is how we work sometimes, that we can allow these small, simple things to get us thrown so far off track in what it is that we want to do, and that it's almost stupid. Like, you're like, how did you allow something so simple to stop you from reaching the level of success that you wanted? And then you look back over your life and you're like, oh my goodness, like, how did that happen? How did I get here? Wilbert, it's okay. It's my fault, not yours. Okay. So now, regardless of what you want to do or what you want to be, whether it's lose 10 pounds, write a book, become a billionaire, your desire to reach these points is an incredibly important element of doing so. Each of these goals is vital to your future survival because they indicate what's within your potential. Regardless of the goal you are striving to accomplish, you will be required to think differently, embrace a die-hard level of commitment, and take massive amounts of action at 10 times the level you think necessary. So whatever it is you want to do it 10 times more. Whatever it is that you're thinking, think it 10 times more. followed by more action. Almost every problem people face in their careers and other aspects of their lives, such as failed diets, marriages, and financial problems, all are a result of not taking enough action. You know, I was talking to someone and they were just like, you know, I stopped talking to this guy because he didn't spend time with me, right? So this guy was about to miss out on this great girl because he just wouldn't spend the time. Just think, guys, if you would just spend a little more time, put a little more effort into spending time with women, because we like most women, okay? We like your time. We like your attention. It doesn't have to be 24/7, but it needs to be there, and it needs to be intentional. We need to feel like we're loved, and we need to feel like we're cared about. And if you would just take a little bit more time to get in tune with that, you wouldn't have as many problems as you have with women if you would just take that little time. And if any men are on here, Wilbert, you here? Take that little nugget, okay? Yes, what I've been thinking. Tiana, what was that comment to? Right? But I mean, it's just small things that if you would just increase the action. So it's not even that it has to be anything astronomical. It just needs to be a little bit more, well, 10 times more, right? In order for things to be the way that it is that we desire for them to be. If we would just put better thinking, better action into it, all right? So before you say to yourself for the millionth time, I would be happy if I just had, or I don't want to be rich, just comfortable, or I just want enough to be happy, you must understand one vital point. Limiting the amount of success you desire is a violation of the 10x rule in and of itself. When people start limiting the amount of success they desire, I assure you they will limit what will be required of them in order to achieve success, and will fail miserably at doing what it takes to keep it. 5 love languages. Yes, read the book, 5 love languages. Figure out what language that man or woman speaks that you want in your life. Take the extra effort to study a person and then read about what is the best way to interact with the person, right? You back in the U.S. I am back to the mainland. Yes. So and Puerto Rico is a part of the U.S. It's part of the contiguous U.S., right? So, but yes, I am back to the mainland. Take massive action. I just cut one off because he didn't take massive action. I was criticized for spending too much time with the ex. So, Wilbert, go back to what Coach Lakeisha put, the 5 love languages. Figure out what your next person, or if you still desire to be with her, figure out what her love language is, because maybe the quality time isn't it. Or maybe that was really just her excuse of not wanting to be with you. And sometimes people leaving and walking out of your life is not necessarily, it's a loss, it's a blessing. And we just have to count it as what it is. Okay. So the 10X rule is about pure domination mentality. Like, it's just time to dominate. Whatever industry you're in, whatever it is you want in your life, whatever it is you're going after, whatever goals you have set, like, it is time to dominate. Like, 2018 is domination time, right? Right now is domination time. From now until you reach your goal, it's domination time. Like, stop trying to compete with everybody else and what everybody else is doing, and just dominate it. Dominate what it is that God has called you to do. Whatever it is that you desire, dominate it. Take control of that thing. Well, Eric, is not necessarily a state. It's like, what is the word? I can't even think of it right now. Yes. Real talk. Let's go. Yes. Dominate. It's acquired. It is I don't know. If somebody can look that up, I'm sorry, Eric, I can't think at the moment. Like, it's completely slipping my mind. But, back in World War I, the U.S. acquired, Puerto Rico so that they could go fight in the war. So, yes, thank you, a territory. of the U.S., okay? So yes, everyone has their own significant love language. Yes. See, Wilbur, these ladies are dropping nuggets and giving them to you, so make sure you're catching them. All right, but pure domination. Okay, so now he says you must be willing to do what they won't do. So what other people aren't willing to do, you've got to be the one to do it, right? Because that's going to give you the one up. But you can't even think about it as a one up per se. You've just got to be thinking about, I'm dominating this. Like, everybody else is failing to do what they need to do. And this is my moment. This is my opportunity. This is where I squeeze in and dominate and absolutely take over. I shut it down. Like people want a certain business, they're going to come to you for it. If people, desire help, whatever it is, they're coming to you. You dominate, you shut it down, and you own that. So stop acting scared. Stop acting timid. Like this is 10 times action. This is 10 times thought. Stop thinking you're not worth it. Stop thinking that you don't have the skill, the credibility, the whatever, the popularity. Put all of that stuff aside. Put all of the doubt aside and go for it. Go for it. And even, you know what? If it's a certain person, or a certain thing, and they tell you no, like whatever opportunity is told no to you, that doesn't mean you stop. That means you keep going. Something bigger, something better is out there, and you just have to believe that. You have to believe that bigger and better is out there, and no does not mean that whatever it is that you desire is not going to happen, but maybe that specific thing just isn't for you. Whether it be at the moment or maybe not at all. You never know what the plan is, but you can have what it is that you want. Okay? If that makes sense. Does that make sense? Okay? So you can want a certain amount of money, right? But maybe you wanted $1,000, but really what you were going to get is $10,000, but you can't limit your thoughts. You have to be willing to go after what it is. You have to dominate that area. You taking notes? Hey. All right. So let's move on. The following is the basic series of mistakes people make when setting out to achieve goals. Okay. Not until they say H. No, I go. Not until they say H. I forgot. Listen, y'all got to tell me what I was talking about. Not until they say H. No, I go back. Right. Use wisdom and discernment for whatever point that was, right? So mistargeting. So one of the main things for setting out to achieve goals, mistargeting, by setting objectives that are too low and don't allow for enough correct motivation. Setting objectives that are too low and don't allow for enough correct motivation. The second thing, severely underestimating what it will take in terms of actions, resources, money, and energy to accomplish the target. 3, spending too much time competing and not enough time dominating their sector. 4, underestimating the amount of adversity they will need to overcome in order to actually attain their desired goal. So again, these are the basic series of mistakes people make when setting out to achieve goals. And so one of the examples that he gives is foreclosure. I had to slow it down a little bit. Y'all know how I get when I get excited. So I start talking fast and I'm going. But since we're switching gears to the next point, needed to slow it down. So the foreclosure that would happen here in the US, and he was just saying that there was a lot of people that they ended up losing big time because they did not do what they needed to do. He says those who fell victim to this situation were mistargeting, underestimating necessary amounts of action, and concentrating too intensely on being competitive rather than creating a situation that would make them invincible to unexpected setbacks. People were operating with a herd mentality, one based on competition instead of domination. Are you operating in a place of competition instead of domination? Like, I don't want to just be doing tick for tack, like, oh, well, they did this, so I'm going to do that. And I just want to do better than the next person. No, 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 no. We're coming in and we are dominating. We are taking over. We are showing people how it's done. We're not just following the crowd. We're not just going to be trendy. Oh, because so-and-so is doing this, then I'm going to go ahead and do that. Like, no, that's not what we're on. We are about finding our place. We're about finding our skills, our gifts, our talents, what we add, the value that we're giving. And from there, we are going to dominate what it is we're going after, right? So he says, they thought in terms of, I have to do what my colleague, neighbor, family member is doing, instead of, I have to do what's best for me. Are you doing what's best for you? Or do you have the follow the crowd mentality? You're just going to do what everybody else is doing, even if it causes you to lose everything. I don't know about you, but I've worked too hard to lose everything just on some I'm going to follow you type stuff. That's not what I desire. We have to begin to think about what it is that we are doing and what is best for us. Don't allow other people to hold you back because they're not thinking about what it is that is best for you. They're only thinking about what is best for them. You cannot allow other people to hold you back. Okay, so don't get caught up when people don't set 10x goals and therefore fail to operate at 10x levels. They become susceptible to get rich quick phenomenon and unplanned changes in the marketplace. If you had occupied yourself with your own actions aimed at dominating your sector, you probably would not have been baited by these kinds of temptations. So essentially, when you are not focused on what it is that you are supposed to be doing, if you're not focused on your goals, if you're not focused on the things that you've set out to do, then all of these small things come in to distract you and you get caught up in these little games versus dominating. That's not the goal. All right. So that's why when you are thinking 10 times bigger and when your actions are 10 times greater, you don't have time to get caught up in this little stuff. Because why? You're too busy dominating and working on what it is that you are trying to do versus coming back and saying, okay, well, how can I just do this real quick? Because real quick stuff isn't going to allow you to leave a legacy. It's going to give you some money right now. It's going to allow you to hustle right now for the moment and have money in your pocket for the moment. But is it going to allow you to create an inheritance for your children and your children's children and your children's children's children? No, it's not. And so therefore, you have to start thinking differently and not allow yourself to get caught up in just the excitement of the moment. Like, sit down, set a good plan, multiply it all by 10 and go after it. So this is what Grant Cardone is talking about in this book, is that your level of thinking for your business, your level of thinking, yeah, that's absolutely when we lose focus. We can't be doing 20,000 different things like and thinking that we can please everybody all at once. You're not going to please everybody. So get that out of your head too, that if you want to just be a people pleaser, it's not going down. It's just not going to work. Either you're going to be a people pleaser and be unhappy, or you're going to decide, hey, I'm going for what it is that I desire. And if people want to love me along the way, then that's what's going to happen. Yep, Tiana, yes. Tunnel vision. So let's see here. Aimed at dominating. Yeah, so what I was saying briefly there was, it doesn't matter if it's your business, your relationships, whatever, guys. Stop getting so distracted so easily. Stop thinking, hey, if I go and cheat, then this is going to make my life better, or it's going to fulfill my desires, because it's not, right? And that's whether it's cheating in a relationship or cheating the system or trying to go and do some get rich quick scheme or whatever it is. Like, stop trying to cheat. Get committed to endure the process, because you're going to have to go through the process. And then once you come out of the process, I guarantee you, if you stay committed, you will love the results versus settling and trying to do something real quick just to win. and to say that you achieved something, but really you're not even going to be happy with that because you could have done so much more. And on the inside, you're going to know that you could have done so much more. Right? So to all my business owners, stop fronting like things are going great. Multiply everything you're trying to do by 10. Let's get work done. Let's get those results that we truly desire. Okay, here. So, you know, and sometimes the goals and things that we want just seem so big. But a lot of times it's because we've been programmed to think that way. You know, people tell us it's going to be hard, so we think, oh, it's going to be hard. They tell us, you know, oh, well, that's a lot of money. Or they tell us, oh, that's too little money. Like, people are constantly trying to program how we should be thinking. You are the determinant of whether it's going to be hard, easy, whether it's a lot, whether it's a little. You are the one. So you can't allow everybody else's thoughts and opinions to become yours. Yes, trust the process. Let me take some water real quick. Okay. So any goal you set is going to be difficult to achieve, and you will inevitably, because again, what we are trying to achieve is something that we have never done before. So you're going to have your challenges. It will be difficult. It doesn't matter what it is that you choose. So just to tie it in together with what I was saying about, you know, we've been programming, people are going to tell you different things. The point is at any time that you are trying to achieve something that you have never done before, it's going to come with a level of difficulty. So you might as well just go ahead and face it all. Like, stop allowing what people have to say to you to stop you. Just do it. Set the goal, put the action to it. Just do it. Just do it. All right. So any goal is going to be difficult to achieve, and you will inevitably be disappointed at some points along the way. So why not set these goals much higher than you deem worthy from the beginning? If they're going to require work, effort, energy, persistence, then why not exert 10 times as much of each? What if you are underestimating your capabilities? So there is a quote, I think it was Les Brown, but he says that if you shoot for the moon and land of the stars, I'm gonna be okay with that. I'm just paraphrased it, right? But shoot for the moon, land in the stars. And I would be much better than that, than still standing in the same place that I am, right, on the ground. Because then that means I didn't make it too far. But if you shoot for the moon and you land for the stars, then that means you got closer to the moon and you're amongst the stars, right? So you don't want to play yourself short. You don't want to be in a place where you're underestimating yourself, just feeling like, oh, well, this is the only thing that I can do. This is the only thing that I can achieve. Like that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't be there. Because again, I'm talking to people who want more for themselves. I'm talking to people who have set different goals for themselves, things that they have not achieved before, right? And you want to go higher. And so this is for you, that you can't keep underestimating yourself. Other way around. Shoot for the stars, reach the moon. Is that what it is? Wilbert? Okay. So he says, oh, you might be protesting, but what of the disappointment that comes from setting unrealistic goals? Take just a few moments to study history, or even better, simply look back over your life. Chances are that you have more often been disappointed by setting targets that are too low and achieving them, only to be shocked that you still didn't get what you wanted. How many of us have been in that situation where we have set goals that are too low? We've gotten those goals and now we're like, oh man, I should have done this. I should have asked for more. I could have done more. Man, I probably could have gotten. And now you're thinking about all of the things that could have happened had you set your aim just a little bit higher, or maybe a lot higher, because it came to you like, oh man, that was easier said than done. So you don't want to shoot too low, right? Wilbert, are we talking about the same thing? The quote? You looking it up for me? All right. So let's say that my original aim was to make 100,000, which I then changed to 1,000,000. Which of these goals would you rather come up short on? Okay, cool. Thank you. So you shoot for the stars. You land on the moon. Is that what it is? I'm going to check that. But going back to this example, but that just means I have to keep pushing myself to do better. Awesome. All right. So let's say, again, that the original goal is 100,000, which I then changed to 1,000,000. Which one of these goals would you rather come up short on? Of course, you're going to want to come up shorter on the $1 million, right? Versus the 100,000. So that just goes back to the car example, right? So if you set a goal to get 1 car and you fall short on that, that means you got 0. You set a goal to get 10 cars, you at least get 1. Then, hey, we're doing something here, right? We're mobile. We're pushing. All right. So some people claim that expectations are the reason for unhappiness. However, I can assure you from personal experience that you'll suffer greatly by setting subpar targets. You simply will not invest the energy, effort, and resources necessary to accommodate unexpected variables and conditions that are certain to occur sometimes during the course of the project or event. See, when we aim our expectations are too low, then that means we're not going to put forth what is needed. So you have to aim high. All right. Why spend, my nose is really itchy tonight. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay. So let me go back here. Why settle when you can have more? Why settle? Shoot for the moon, but if you land among the stars, you still win. Thank you, coach. That's what I needed. Thank you. Because I'm like, shoot for the stars and land on the moon. Wilbert, thank you, though. Appreciate you. All right. Ginger, I missed you in Puerto Rico. I missed you and the team. It was not the same without you all. Okay, let me get back to this book, though. So why spend your life making only enough money to end up with not enough money? Why spend your life making only enough money to end up with not enough money? There's so many people. We dedicate our lives to these jobs. Listen, I gotta go here. Y'all know it. And we make barely enough money to have not enough money. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. So this day and age, we have to be thinking of multiple streams of income, okay? So why work out in the gym only once a week just to get sore and never see a change in your body type? Like, don't y'all want to see like an end goal? Don't you want to see a result coming from the work that you're doing? I need to join you in the team for missions. Yeah, definitely. The group that I partner with is Group Missions. And so I will post the link, but absolutely. They're a great group. And I love that organization because they pretty much plan everything for you while you're there. And so it's great for first time or really just pairing up with a good team of people. All right. You know, Nana, I come at like different times. All right. So, but yeah, I'm definitely earlier than like 11, 12 o'clock. Okay. Where are we at here? Why get merely good at something when you know the marketplace only rewards excellence? Why work 8 hours a day at a job where no one recognizes you when you could be a superstar or perhaps even run or own the place? All of these examples require energy. Only your 10x targets really pay off. So we have to keep going. We have to keep pushing. We have to do 10 times more, whatever it is. Whatever it is that y'all want right now, whatever your actions are, start doing 10 times more of it. 10 times more. What are you going to do? What actions are you going to take? What are you going to achieve? So that you can cut your 10-year plan down to a 5-year plan. Right? Some of us don't even have that. We're not even thinking that far. Start thinking farther. Stop thinking so small in your life. Stop thinking that you have to wait till you're 70, 80 to be able to enjoy your life, right? Because most people, when you get to 70 or 80, you're not enjoying your life anyway. You're trying to combat diseases and fight off health issues, right? So think 10 times better. Think right now that what you're doing in your life is creating you for a great setup to be healthy when you're 70 or 80. But before you're 70 or 80, you can begin to live the life that you love right now. And you can have the freedom that you want right now. You can have the body type that you want right now to the day that you die. That you can do whatever it is that you want to do, but you have to think differently and you have to put the action behind it. So you can't just keep eating out fast food restaurants every day thinking that you're going to have the body that you want. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, right? And it's funny because we have the tools and the resources. I was looking at some hair product. I had my mother buy some hair product. And when I did her hair, it looked great. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn, right? I'm just saying, I can tell a difference. And she has the product, but she won't use it. Or if she does, she doesn't use it properly after I've taught her, right? And that's how some of us are, that we have access to certain things, but we're not willing to put in the time, the effort, or the thought process into it to get the results that we want. But what we need to achieve it and get to it, it's right there in our reach. Like we might have even invested and bought something and spent our money and took our time to go to the store and get it, right? You get what I'm saying? Like you've spent your time, you've invested your money, you've done all of these things, but yet you won't do the action or even feel like, hey, I have the skill in order to get it done. And it's right there in our reach. Like what is right there in your reach that you are letting you pass by? Or you're letting pass by, right? And it's right there. You can do it. You can have it. It can get accomplished. But you're too lazy. You won't give it the energy. You won't give it the time. And so everything that you've been wanting in your life, you can have access to it, but you just won't pick up the product that you've already bought, right? You won't pick up whatever it is that you've invested in. I think I might have told you all, I wanted to do better at a certain area in my business. And so I invested in this training. And guess what, guys? I paid for the training. I haven't even watched the training yet. And it's probably been about a month. So I do plan to get to it, but what is my point? My point is that if I really was serious about that portion, I would have been done with it, right? And where I could be, because I've gotten the training and all I need to do is hit the play button, like set aside some time to get it done. Like so many of us, we have things, we're invested in things, whether it's our time or our money, but now we're not using it properly for us to get what it is that we want. All right, so let's return to our definition of success, a term most people have never looked up, much less studied. What does it really mean to have success or be successful? In the Middle Ages, the word often referred to the person taking over the throne. The word derived from the Latin succeder. Now that is real power. Succeed literally means to turn out well or to attain a desired object or end. Success then is an accumulation of events turning out well or desired outcomes being achieved. So success isn't what everybody else says that success is. Success is whatever you have set out to achieve. Once you accomplish them, that is success. Stop comparing yourself to everybody else, because their level of success may not be your level of success. And as long as you have stretched yourself, and as long as you have tapped into your full potential, then that is what you need to be worried about. You can't be worried about what everybody else is doing, because if you're worried about what everybody else is doing, you will never be satisfied with who you are. And you'll never be satisfied with what you have accomplished. Success is what you desire. and accomplish. So, or working to accomplish. So think of it this way. You wouldn't consider a diet successful if you lost 10 pounds but put on 12. In other words, you have to be able to keep success, not just get it. I'm going to say that again. You have to be able to keep success, not just get it. You would also want to improve upon that success to ensure that you do maintain it. After all, you can cut your grass once and be successful in doing so, but it's going to grow back eventually. You will have to constantly maintain the yard in order for it to continue to be defined as success. This isn't about attaining one goal one time, but rather about what we persist in creating. So again, we're not going to get into all of that on tonight. That's why you need to come back and read with us. Okay. But how are we going to continue to create the success that we have achieved? We can look at our lives and say, you know what? Well, I've done it before. Why can't I do this? Why is it not happening for me now? Why can't I get the same results that I got before? Like, what's going on? There's something that's missing, right? And so in this book, we're going to be talking more about, now that you have been able to create that level of success in your life, how do you maintain it? How do you keep it? How do you keep going to that next level? Yes, I have a habit of that worry about other people. Personal development is key. Amen. Success is what you desire. Hello, Lorenzo. You have to be able to keep your success, not just get it. Your lens and optic is on point to me. Thank you. Or thank you, whoever made this phone. All right. So before you start worrying that you're going to have to work at this forever, let me assure you that you won't. That is not if you set the correct 10x target from the beginning. Talk to anyone who wildly, extraordinarily successful in some field, and they will tell you it never felt like work. It feels like work to most people because the payoff is not substantial enough and doesn't yield an adequate victory to feel like something that isn't work. See, once you've really set this 10x goal and you begin to get the results from it, it becomes fun. I'm not saying there's not going to be challenges, but what I'm saying is you begin to actually enjoy the process of going through and getting what it is that you want in your life. Like, it becomes enjoyable because you're beginning to see the fruit of your labor as you're going through. See, people who set goals and they don't set their goals big enough, then they're just kind of sad and still depressed and like, but there's still more. There's more out of my life that I want, because they're not giving their full potential. And so they have to continuously go back and figure out, well, what it is that I'm not doing? Like, what am I missing? What's happening? Why am I not getting the feeling that I thought I was going to get? It's because you need to give more. It's because you need to do more. It's because you need to think more. There is more. There is more. There is more. There is more for you to be doing. Okay? All right. So your focus should be on the kind of success that builds upon itself, that which is perpetual and doesn't happen only one time. This book is about how to create extraordinary achievement, how to ensure you will attain it, how to keep it, and how to keep creating new levels of it without feeling like work. Remember, a person who limits his or her potential success will limit what he or she will do to create it and keep it. Misery loves company. It's evident. Yes, absolutely. It's very, very evident. Okay. So remember, it doesn't matter what your goal is, by the way. Okay. These principles go for anything and everything. So he says it's also vital to keep in mind that the subject of acquirement is, in other words, the goal or target doesn't matter as much as the mindset and the actions that are mandatory to accomplish 10x goals. Whether you want to be a professional speaker, best-selling author, top CEO, exceptional parent, great teacher, whatever it is that you want to do, it's still about your actions and it's still about your thinking. 10 times. Your actions 10 times. Do it better. do it greater. Do it from the beginning, so that way it doesn't take you as long and you can enjoy the process along the way. You see the results faster, okay? And you can enjoy it longer. Any desirable target or goal will always suggest something you have yet to accomplish. It doesn't matter how much you've already attained. As long as you are alive, you will either live to accomplish your own goals or dreams or be used as a resource to accomplish someone else's. So do you want to accomplish your own goals and dreams, or do you want to be used as a resource to help accomplish someone else's? Either way, it's fine. Just get it right in your mind about what you want to do. And then do it to your best of your ability and set your goals and your mindset to be the best, to be the greatest at whatever it is. Muhammad Ali said, I am the greatest, right? There was no doubt in his mind. I mean, the man was an incredible man, incredible boxer. And beyond that, he was, a civil leader and just his thought process. And if you haven't gotten a chance to go to Louisville, Kentucky and go to his museum, you need to go there and you need to learn about this man because he was incredible. But the reason why Muhammad Ali began to talk about he was the greatest is because he grew up in a time and era where people told him that he wasn't, where blacks were looked down upon, okay, more so than now, right? And so because of the negativity and because of just the degradation, did I say that word right? Degradation, right? People were degrading them. But because of all of that, that is why he began to then take the negativity, turn it into a positive and said, no, I am the greatest, right? And so when he was yelling out all of these things of positivity, he wasn't just talking about being a boxer, right? He was talking about in life, in general. Yeah, that's the word. I just couldn't get it out, right? Thanks, Wilbert. But, that's how we have to be. Where it's like Muhammad Ali, he took boxing. And in fact, why he even became a boxer is because I believe it was a little boy. They were fighting over a bike. And the man saw him and was fighting over this bike. And he's like, no, that's not what you're going to do. You're not going to take your anger out and start fighting this little kid over this bike, but I'm going to teach you because I know what that's going to turn into. So I'm going to teach you how to be a boxer. And he turned that negativity, right, of fighting into something positive. And so that's something that when we're thinking about our goals and things and talking about like 10 times better and thinking, yeah, he was definitely a legend. Just thinking about our goals and how to then go and dominate something. Like that is a great example of somebody who learned a skill, right? He took what he already had because obviously he was pretty good for this man to be like, okay, well, he's a fighter, right? So let's take this and really teach him a skill. And then Muhammad Ali went in there and he dominated. He was 10 times in action. He was 10 times in thought. And now he was 10 times so much so that the man has an entire museum established and created for him. Like, what type of impact are you making in life that people will want to make a museum for you and talk about your life and the impact that you have made in the world? And I mean, when I was there was a man who flew in from Australia. So people from all over the world comes to Louisville, Kentucky to go to a museum to learn about a man named Muhammad Ali because he believed 10 times better and he thought 10 times greater. He came in to dominate. And some of us, we won't do that. And so we won't have the impact and we won't have the legacy. But for those of you who do want to make a greater impact and want to leave a legacy and want to leave an inheritance, start doing 10 times more. Your actions, take massive action, 10 times the actions, right? Start thinking greater. Start thinking bigger. 10 times bigger. Grab some water. But I absolutely love that thought, that there is a man who came up in a time with so much adversity. He turned that around. His thoughts and his actions became so great that he's got a museum, like a whole museum. and literally, like, it's so good that I want to go back and really take more time to read more and understand more about his life and be able to gain something. Like, what are people gaining from your life? And this doesn't mean that you have to go out and like become some super scientist, right? We are talking about a boxer. We're talking about a boxer who was able to use his platform to impact the world. Like, what are you doing with your platform to be able to impact the world? Most of are like sheep in America. Yeah, we just kind of follow, right? All right. So success can also be defined as accomplishing the next level of what it is you desire, and in ways that will forever change how you perceive yourself, your life, the use of your energy, and perhaps most significantly, how others perceive you. The 10X rule is about what you have to think and do to get to a point 10 times more gratifying than you have ever imagined. This level of success cannot be achieved by normal levels of thought and action. That is why even when most of those goals are attained, they don't actually provide sufficient fulfillment. Average marriages, bank accounts, weight, health, businesses, products, and the like are just that, average. The best light bulb changer in the world. Is that you, Wilbert? Is that your stamp that you're leaving? The best light bulb changer? So, guys, the question is, are you ready for this 10X adventure? Are you ready to be able to do more, to achieve more by your actions and by your thought process? So hopefully by tonight, from this conversation, you have been able to gain a few things. Camille, imagine 20 years, right? Man, 20 years ago, just 20 years ago. All right. So hopefully from tonight, you've been able to identify the 10X rule. What is it? The two parts of it. All right, Jessica. Yes. You know what? And they can give like a history of the light bulbs and electricity, and it'll be great. I'm sure it'll be some pretty cool exhibits in there, Wilbur. We'll look forward to going to your light bulb museum one day. But it's so crazy. Like, we're laughing about that, but while we're laughing about it, like, there's other people who are like going out here and doing it. If that's really what you wanted to do, you know what I mean? So don't ever, for you all who are setting these goals and you're thinking like nobody is ever going to buy into this, like, you would be surprised that what is out there and what people like. There's the Lego museum, right? Like, people just go and build Legos. Like, you know how much money went into that? So whatever your dreams and your goals are, it can happen for you. This is what we're talking about, though. You have to believe and you have to take action. And Wilbert, I know that you were joking, but it's going to be in my mom's backyard, you know it, and people are going to come and we're going to pay $20 to get in and look at your light bulb exhibit. Okay, so the two parts of the 10X rule, remember, is 10 times the action, 10 times the thought process, right? Yes, I know it's a more serious point. Yeah, I know. All right. So what are the 4 biggest mistakes people make when setting goals? So I'm not going to read the full sentences. I'm just going to read the key words, but mistargeting, severely underestimating, spending too much time competing, and underestimating the amount of adversity. What a slobber knocker. All right, Eric. Okay, so why is it a problem to set a goal too low? It's a problem to set the goal too low. Anybody know? Anybody want to answer that? Why is it a problem to set the goal too low? Anybody still on here that can answer that? Pookie, can you answer? Why is it a problem to set the goal too low? When we set our goals too low, what happens? Anybody? Remember, guys, if you're on here, share this video. We're going to be doing drawings of cash and gift cards and free products. Yep, that's the 2-part. So make sure you share this video. Not giving your full potential. Right, with the setting the goal too low. You're definitely not giving your full potential. Yes. And then when you're not giving your full potential, instead of reaching the maximum, you barely hit the minimum, right? Yes. Okay, so why is it a problem to set okay, I already said that. And are you ready for the 10X rule? Jessica said she was ready for the 10X rule. Are y'all ready for the 10X rule? Like, are y'all ready really to dive into this and apply it to our lives? Because all of us, like, I want to see all of us winning, all of us doing better. Whatever it is that you desire, whatever it is that you want. Like, I want to see some people talking about they've got an increase in their income. I want to see people talking about they're getting married. I want to see people talking about they're getting married and having families. And it is great. Like, it's not just a front for social media. Like, what's up with that? Like, y'all stop taking pictures and making everything seem like it's just like fairy tale, and then 2 weeks later you're divorced. Like, stop doing that. Stop. Really take the action that you need to take. Really get to that thought process that you need to have in order to have what it is that you really want, and stop pretending. Stop pretending in everything. Okay. Yes, Nana, you are definitely blessed. So, okay, guys, that is the conclusion of this chapter. So that went on really long. I think I'm gonna, okay, so this is what we might do here. At the end of each chapter, he gives like these exercises. So I might just focus more so on those exercise questions and work through it that way versus reading this entire chapter with you all, because this gets really long. I'm like, I did not know. It was 12 and I got on here at like 10:30. Common sense is not common. It's not. Sorry, I felt like my lips were dry. How to put on my Mary Kay lip gloss. And my Mary Kay distributor is Laura Green. Contact me if you like my lip gloss, and I will give her or I'll give you her contact information. We don't put in enough action, willpower to get our goal done. Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. All right, guys. So, hey, if you're in the Atlanta area, I'll be down there this weekend. So let's connect. Let me know. Hit my inbox. I would love for you to be a guest at my event that's going on down there. Saturday at 9 a.m. Would love to have you guys. So, or if you have some friends in Atlanta, absolutely send them my way. Have them message me. It's going to be a great time. I'm excited. Get to meet some of my business partners. Loved it. So inspirational. This is why I love you so much. I learned so much tonight and will apply it to my daily life 10 times better. Absolutely. What time does detention start? I don't. Wilbert, you have so many detentions. I don't know. You're always late to class. Otis, good stuff. Camille, Aiko, thank you so much, love. Okay. I told you guys if you share the video, we're doing the drawing, so make sure you do that. We'll be doing this every night. I can't guarantee you guys what time I'm coming on here. I'm sorry. I just can't. If only I wasn't in school, but I have family down there, so I will let them know. Yeah, absolutely. And then if anybody decides, hey, yeah, I want to come, or actually I can send you some information, Jessica. But yeah, if you guys know anybody in the Atlanta area, or you live in the Atlanta area, you want to connect, maybe just grab a cup of coffee, or I'll be drinking some water. But anything of that nature, let's talk, let's connect. I'll be down there. I would love to meet up with you all. Okay. Is there anything else? Nope, that's it. Yes, baby. Tiana, yes, we are, dear. Yeah, y'all need a partner with us. Like, for real. We're doing some big things. And so I'm looking for right, or T. I'm looking for some people who are serious about wanting to get their health in order, right? So let's get ourselves healthy. All about healthy bodies, healthy bank accounts, and healthy relationships. Get you some good liquid vitamin inside of your system with a 98% absorption rate, helping you to stay healthy all of the days of your life. I was asked if I wanted to go to ATL this weekend too. Well, come on, Wilbert. Go to ATL. We can meet up. I got my tea finally in the mail. Thank you. Awesome, Jessica. Make sure you make it. Drink it daily. Stay consistent. Take that NRG as well. And then let me know your results. Do you want critical thinkers? Absolutely. All types of thinkers. Yep. All right. All right, guys. I guess I'm going to go ahead and hop off of here. So we will be back at it tomorrow night. If you haven't already gotten the book, make sure you grab the book, The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. And we'll be on chapter 2. So like I said, I think my plan of attack, my strategy will be is that we start with the end of the chapter and just kind of discuss those points. That way we don't go on for so long on these lives. Not that I don't enjoy you all so much. I didn't even realize so much time had gone by. But yeah. Okay. If you guys have any suggestions or anything like that, drop it below. Yep. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Even though I'm probably not going to sleep, but you know, deuces. My name is Camille Aiko, and I hope that you are living the life that you love spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. Good night, guys.